Is Google forcing everyone into AI search? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Now, it is no secret that major companies have been pushing AI really hard. Whether or not users want the functionality, they've been shoveling into products and websites and whatever else they can think of. Google recently added something called AI mode to their search bar. They also announced some changes to AI search that made many people wonder if AI mode was going to become the default and preferred search mechanism. It's complicated. One thing to point out is that AI was already here. I'm going to go ahead and do one of my example searches. What's the best coffee maker? You can see right away that Google is throwing sponsored results at us, followed by an AI overview, followed by, finally, the actual search results we were looking for. Now, the issue here, of course, is that I had to scroll down to find those. In fact, I had to scroll down quite a ways to find those. We've got sponsored, we've got AI, and then finally we've got search results. One of the comments I got on a previous article where I use a similar search about coffee makers is that you're searching for coffee makers. Why are you surprised that there are ads for coffee makers? I'm not surprised, don't get me wrong. What I'm annoyed by is that these ads have nothing to do with what I'm searching for. Yes, they're coffee makers, but are they the best? Is there any relevance to my actual search query looking for the best coffee makers? And the answer is absolutely not. What these represent are companies that have paid money to show up here whenever anybody is searching for coffee makers. These could be absolute garbage coffee makers, even though I'm searching for the best. And they're there only because somebody spent money to put them there. They are not relevant. And before you say it, many people don't even notice that these are sponsored results. Many people just assume this is what Google told me, so these must be the results I'm looking for. They're not. The same is true for the AI overview. Again, AI's been here all along in regular Google search. Sometimes it's above the sponsored results, sometimes it's below. But the bottom line is Google tries to answer the question by giving you an AI overview resulting from the query that you entered. Finally, like I said, some actual search results below all that. Now, you'll notice when we do the search, I'm going to go back here to plain old Google, there's this thing called AI mode, which honestly is really just the same as firing up something like Gemini and asking it the question. Gemini then goes out and does its thing, gets its information from wherever Gemini gets its information, and presents them as the result for your search. But the important thing to understand here is that, again, these are not really search results. These are an attempt to answer your question. It's unclear where the information comes from, but now this entire page is all about AI-generated search. And yeah, there's a list of top coffee makers by category and some detailed breakdowns and so forth. I'm not saying that this can't be valuable, but I am saying that this is absolutely AI generated, meaning that all the caveats related to AI apply. It may not be accurate. It's not the default, which is good. That's actually one of the worries that came up after Google made that announcement, that this, what I'm just looking at right now, was going to be the default search experience. For now, it's not. It's unclear if it ever will be, but we can't rule it out. Why? Competition. Many people have switched to using something like ChatGPT to answer exactly these kinds of questions. Just fired it up here and you'll see that it's going to give you a very similar overview to what Gemini did in Google's AI search mode. Same idea. It's all ChatGPT. It's all AI generated. It's not a bad experience. It gives a very confident sounding result. It didn't include the disclaimer about accuracy, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere here. Now, given that so many people are using alternative AI chatbots instead of traditional search, honestly, it's no surprise that Google would feature their own more prominently. After all, it's the search interface most of us have used for years, if not decades. So, according to reports, the use of the DuckDuckGo search engine saw a significant uptick after Google's announcements. In the face of Google's apparent push to include more AI, people turned to alternatives that presumably wouldn't do the same. I get it. DuckDuckGo promotes itself as privacy-focused and giving the user greater control. Let's see what DuckDuckGo gives us. I was kind of disappointed, mostly because there's an AI summary off to the right, and almost everything on screen by default is an ad. These are ads. The Nespresso is an ad. It's not until we scroll down a fair amount more that we finally get something that looks like a generic search result that is not AI generated and not an ad. So I pay for and use Kagi as my primary search engine. Before anybody accuses me, no, they are not paying for my endorsement. I pay them to use the search engine. They don't pay me a penny. So if I go to Kagi search and enter our famous question, what's the best coffee maker? I was surprised. Notice that the very first thing here is a quick answer. It's an AI summary. That's not what I expected from Kagi. However, I kind of assumed or presumed that Kagi might give me some more control over this. And indeed, in its features, I found a setting called Auto Quick Answer, which basically automatically triggers the quick answer when your search terms end with a question mark. Well, okay. Let me take the question mark off of my query and run it again. Now we've got pure generic search results. Like I said in my previous article and video about leaving Google search, I got a lot of feedback that boiled down to, well, you searched for coffee makers. Why are you surprised that you got results about coffee makers? My concerns are twofold. AI results are interesting and perhaps helpful, but you still can't blindly trust them. Unfortunately, most people see the AI-generated summary or answer and take it as true, accurate answer without doing anything to confirm it. This is true for coffee makers, but it's also true for anything else you might search for. And advertisements are often misleading in two ways. First, they're often disguised as or easily mistaken for traditional search results. Many people don't realize that they're ads. Second, they rarely relate directly to the question. In my example, I'm looking for the best coffee maker, but the advertisements shown aren't there because they're the best. They're there because someone paid to display them. The coffee makers or linked pages referenced in those ads could be legit, but they could be complete garbage. Is Google going to make AI mode the default? Today, I believe the answer is no. It's an option you can select as you enter your search query or on the search results page. Tomorrow? Who knows? It's certainly possible as competition in both the search and AI spaces forces Google to make some very competitive decisions. All I can say is that this is a very rapidly changing space. The single most important thing out of all of this is to understand the difference between AI chats, AI-generated search results or summaries, ads, and then those normal, traditional search results. Use them all as you see fit, but understand the strengths and weaknesses of each. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/193528. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.